Alright, here's your video checking the 6-4 homework for you. As I'm not in class today, I'll use pink to highlight what I'm doing on the screen. We were talking about elimination in the last couple, or the last lesson. Solving by elimination, we talked about was like the big bar underneath both those equations with the minus sign, as you can see here. The big bar and the minus sign, because I'm subtracting the coefficients in front of the variables, we might say, or subtracting those like terms, we might say, in those two equations, in order to eliminate or get rid of one type of variable, so that we would have just an x terms or just y terms. That way we would be able to solve, right? So that's our goal, is to eliminate one kind of variable, so we only have one kind left. So here they had them already aligned for us. All we did was write the large bar underneath with the minus, and then we subtracted them. So my y's canceled, it became 0. Okay, so I have 0 equals -4. 3 minus 7 is -4. 13 minus 17 is -4 as well. So -4x minus 4. Now here's the big mistake I saw a couple people making this last class and in the middle school portion as well. Once we get here, sometimes we say, oh, okay, 0 equals 4x minus 4. And then I say, oh, okay, then I'll just divide by -4 and I'll get x equals 1. No, right? I can't just divide on one side. I have to divide it by -4 on that side. It gets confusing, right? That's not how we learn things. We need to have, get this 4 moved over. So really what the work that they didn't show here is adding 4 on both sides. Okay, so I'm moving that 4 over to this side. So now I have 4 and then a -4x on opposite sides. Then I can divide by -4 and get that -1. Okay, so that's the number one mistake I would probably see there. X equals -1. Once I get that, I can plug it into either equation. They chose here to plug it into the top equation. 3 times -1 is -3, plus 13 is 10. So my final answer, always written as a ordered pair, right? There's always an x and a y in my solution, is -110. If I'd plugged into the bottom one, I'd still do 7 times -1 plus 17, which would be -7 plus 17, which would still be 10. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you plug it into, as long as you do it correctly, right? That's the key. Number 3, we did elimination again. Your y's cancel to 0. -4 minus 10 gives me -14. -4 minus, always thinking through that minus, -4 minus 10 gives me -14. And then 14 minus -28, minus negative is like a plus. 14 minus, I'll write that out for you. 14 minus -28 gives me 42. Here we go, 14. That's minus negative is like a big plus sign. Okay, think about it that way. Then I move my 42 over. That's the work not shown here. Divide by -14. That's also not shown. Gets me 3. Okay. So like I always preach to you guys, solving equations is one of the most important, if not the most important skill you're going to have in the next couple of years of math. So we got to keep practicing that, and that's all these skills involve that, right? Because as we build our skills on top of each other. So making sure that you're showing your work, or that you're being thorough as you're solving your equations. Don't just skip around. Don't just set it up and call it good. Do all the parts. When I plug in my 3 right there, I get 30 minus 28, which is 2. If you'd plugged in the other one, you get -4 times 3 plus 14, which is -12 plus 14, which still gives you that 2. So your answer is 3, 2 for number 3. Moving on to number 10. Flip to the next page, and you can as well flip to the back of your page. Hopefully you turn this in online as I instructed in the announcement. And the sub also should have told you that. Hopefully I put that on the sub plans. Let's see. In blue, I'm trying to eliminate these. My x's don't match. My y's do. So 5 minus 5, that's going to give me 0. So these will really cancel. -4 minus 2 gives me -6x. 12 minus -6 is 18. Okay, then that's an easy solve. I just divide both sides by -6, and I get x equals -3, and plug it in. So I'll leave that there. You can pause if you need to look that over. You should get -3, 0 when you plug it in. If you had plugged it into the other equation instead of the one they show, I'll show you what that would look like. I get positive 12 plus 5y equals 12. Subtract 12 on both sides, which gets me 5y equals 0. Dividing by 5 doesn't really change anything, so I just get 0. Okay, so both cases you're going to have 0 for your y, whichever one you plug it into. Number 11, our last one here. My y's are the same, so they'll cancel. 5 minus 3 gives me 2. 26 minus 18 gives me 8. I solve to get x equals 4. When I plug that 4 in, I get 20 minus 1y, or 20 minus y equals 26. And then this is another mistake. Sometimes when we subtracted that 20 on both sides, we'll just assume that's a positive 1y. Nope, it's still a negative y, which means I have to divide by negative 1, which changes the sign. So negative 6 for your y. If you plugged in the other one, you get 3x minus 1y equals 18. Plugging in that plugging in that 4, excuse me. I would get 12 minus 1y equals 18. And subtracting 12 on both sides, I get negative 6, or positive 6, I mean. And divided by negative 1 to get that negative 6, like they did. Okay, either way, you'll get that negative 6, so 4 negative 6. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you on Wednesday.